Here we are. Hey everyone! My name is Shelby Gibbons.
And I'm Lauren Boyd.
And welcome back to No Ordinary Days. If you are listening only, audio only, you won't know we are currently filming our first YouTube video podcast recording session live and on stage. Ta-da! On stage is our living room. Ta-da! This is crazy.
I know, I don't know even what to think.
I feel like I need to face you
I
because
know,
I usually face you. We usually are sitting in the closet on the floor like this. So that's kind of odd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today we're gonna talk about money and how it's like a taboo subject, but also something that I think is like helpful if it's talked about, especially at our age when we're like, I don't have money and everyone seems like they don't have money, so what are we all gonna do?
Yeah, I think one of the major things that really I came up with, like, the fact that people don't talk about money is when I was searching for a job here, I was thinking about like what I could do and also like how much money I need to survive on my own, because currently I'm like 99% financially independent minus like being on my parents' insurance until I'm 26 and things like that, which is so helpful, but like for the most part I'm doing it solo. And so trying to figure out how much I needed to make was such a weird thing, because rent and groceries, like some of that stuff is predictable, but some of that stuff is so not predictable.
It's also weird because I feel like talking about money is something that's like so personal, and like we're taught you don't ask people how much they make or anything like that. So it's weird to think about a lot of people our age were working in high school already and started saving then. Some people only started working in college. Some people didn't work until after college. So it's like everyone is on such a different level that it's like, it's such a tiptoey thing. I don't know, but I don't know how you make it a normal subject matter.
Yeah, I mean, just like yesterday when we were talking about how much we make, because I brought up, oh my gosh, I have this many hours of PTO. You were like, if you don't mind me asking, how much do you make? And like, I would say our relationship, we know everything about it. We've like gone past the point of best friends.
Yeah. There's no going back.
No, like TMI, not a thing. Our relationship. So, it's so weird, but that's like how you would ask somebody if you even cross that point.
Right, and I like you have literally seen my bank account.
Yeah.
Like exact numbers, and I was like, oh, how much do you make an hour? Like, but I just don't. You don't want to upset people.
Yeah.
But also, I'm human and I'm nosy.
Yeah.
I have definitely Googled a time or two a celebrity's net worth.
Yeah.
What is net worth? Is it even, like, matter?
I think it's, like, how much money they, like, are worth. So, like, if they
like
were...
houses and properties
if they were
to
liquidate everything. I think. You know, sometimes I'm wrong about things that I say on the podcast. So...
Yeah, please take everything we say with a grain of salt. We're only 22, 23. We don't know anything. I guess.
Time to put that disclaimer in there. You know, you know.
Anyways. Yeah. So, money's weird. I always say that I just need to win the lottery. I don't play the lottery, so therefore I cannot win. If you play the lottery, let me know if you've ever had any luck. If you have, good for you.
Yeah, but I don't know. Money is so weird. And I think it's hard because people come from so many different backgrounds with money. Like, we have friends who are paying off so many student loans. And we have friends who chose colleges, I mean, me included, that I wouldn't have to be paying off hundreds of thousands of dollars in loans, because the degree we were getting, frankly, the return was not there for that to pay like hundreds of thousands of dollars for a college education.
Right. I don't know. I feel like we need to start teaching kids that it's like everyone deals with money, so it's not like something to be scared of.
Yeah.
The same thing with like how like periods. I feel like now everyone watch the movie Turning Red on Disney Plus if you can. It's about periods. Anyways, it's like teach kids to talk about it.
Seriously.
And
like something I tell my parents this all the time. I feel like we should have had a math class or some kind of like social functional skills class where we learned how to what taxes were and what all of that meant, and like insurance and what all of that is and what to look for, because when you're going into a job first time, whether you have done internships, whether you've worked other jobs before, going into a full-time job that's not maybe just a summer thing that offers all these benefits and stuff, you don't know. Like my mom is a human resources person, that's her job, so like thankfully I have her to bounce questions off of, but if I didn't have her, I would be so in the dark about things and I would have to research on my own, which, okay, not a big deal, but I feel like there can be so many misleading things.
Right, because anyone can say anything on the internet.
Right.
And then where did it come from? Literally nobody knows. Yeah. In 7th grade, in my math class with Mr. Lekowski, he taught us, well, I think it was like with the bank, but he taught us like how to write checks.
Yeah.
And that is like the only reason I know how to write a check was because we did like a banking unit in 7th grade math.
Yep, we did a similar thing in
and it's like,
school.
where was the rest of it?
Yeah, seriously, because they don't talk to you about anything else.
Yeah, and it's hard because I feel like in high school, you're still like slightly too young to realize the importance of it almost, but then it comes at you like right away almost for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's like it should be in high school, even if it's, you know, like a senior year class everywhere.
Right.
Teaches you about the adult money things.
Yeah, and I think just how like things in our economy work as far as like the stock market and things like that. We were very fortunate to have a very brief like 2-hour session with somebody in our senior year of college business class, but business of like the fine arts, and I learned like just a touch, barely even skimmed the surface, it felt like, but I feel like schools need to teach about the stock market and things like that, because those things are really important for being able to retire, because honestly the money you just save in your bank account is not going to be enough to retire on. You need to have investments and all of that kind of stuff, but like, what does that even mean? Right.
Yeah, in my high school, our senior year, the like history class you take is government one semester in econ. And in econ, we did a stock market like game for who could win. I'm pretty sure my team won. I'm pretty sure I had nothing to do with it because I had no clue what was going on. If you knew me in high school, no you didn't. That's all I gotta say about that. I'm smarter now.
Yes.
Anyways, but yeah, like learning it in depth in a school setting, but then it becomes aversive.
That's true.
And also, like, finance talk and lingo is also not easy. Even when I was getting my first credit card in college, I was like, what are all these, like, abbreviations and, like, percentages of this and that? I'm like, I don't even know what that is or what it means. There's just, like, a lot of room for user error.
Yeah.
Which makes it not easy to approach as a young adult trying to figure out how to figure it out.
Right. Agree. Even with things that maybe are like not everybody does. For those of you that don't know, I own a theater company, a nonprofit theater company with my friend Katie, and like figuring that process out, we did it essentially on our own. We had some help in some places, we got some faulty advice in some places.
Yeah.
But like essentially we did that all by ourselves, and like if someone's aspiring to be an entrepreneur of any kind, whether it's nonprofit, which I would say is like one of the easier things to apply for, whereas like when all these taxes and revenue and everything gets involved, it gets more complicated. So if someone like fresh out of college or even in college wants to do that, it's so hard.
Yeah. I feel like everything that we always talk about, it ends up being like, Oh, we wish there was an easier answer for that. But it's like,
It's true.
it's true. I wish there was a way to, and oh my gosh, but then it's also like, it's not fair because not everyone has the same access
Yeah.
to the same materials and the same resources. So then it's like always going to be a division of people that have access to that knowledge and people who don't,
Mm-hmm.
just as much as people who have access to the finances that they need and the people who don't.
Right. If there's a way, like, someone can, a young aspiring accountant or somebody that like knows the field, like create a class. And I know it's hard to create work for free because that's one of the things as artists that we struggle with a lot is like, when do you draw the line of doing it for free or getting paid? But like, try to make it accessible to everybody.
Or even like a Zoom thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so many Zoom classes, like literally on Zoom, of things that you can like, you could set that up with like a Facebook post.
Yeah.
You don't even have to have like a business.
No. And just
If you're really smart and you want to help, please help.
Please help us.
I keep staring at the camera.
I know, it's weird.
It's kind of weird.
Catches me off guard.
I hope you can still see us.
I know.
What if it's not even recording? That'd be kind of sad. Should I go check?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm scared.
And now the sun moved just a little bit.
Maybe we're not even in it. Oh, we're in it.
Oh, cool.
There might be sunspots over our face, but
That's okay. It's our first time.
it's our first time, so
In the natural lighting in our apartment is pretty good. Our windows just face like both in this way, if that makes sense. So like Shelby's face is probably beautifully lit. There you go.
yours is beautifully lit. I saw it on the camera.
Thanks, lady. Yeah.
Something a little bit better about instead of money problems.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep fixing my shirt, everyone. Just a little scared that there's a camera. We used to always.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I just thought of this. We said we were going to talk about this. We should have done it at the beginning. When we started this podcast 2 years ago.
Our 2-year anniversary just hit this week.
Yep, 2 years.
Crazy.
That's a long time.
Very long time.
Thank you to everyone who's been there since day one.
Yeah.
I feel like we've had a lot of people like since the beginning that have continued to support us.
I agree. Like I think about just in my own family, and I can count several just now.
Same. Anyways, when we first started was during the beginning of quarantine and the COVID era, and we were like, how are we gonna get through this?
Yeah.
And it was to live every day extraordinarily. That was crazy.
I think it's because you have Pippin in your head. Extraordinary.
Yes. So, in our mission to have no ordinary days, we used to always talk about something that had been making us happy recently, and we stopped doing that somewhere along the line.
I think when we took a break and picked back up, it never came with us.
Yeah. We're gonna do that right now. Lauren, what's something that's been making you happy?
I think just really simple is daylight. Having more of it, because daylight savings hit last weekend? Yeah. And beforehand, I would like drive home from my I have a second coaching job, and I would drive home from that, and it would already be dark out, and so I couldn't enjoy the daylight.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see it out the window for 2 hours at the end of the day, but while I was inside. And so now to have daylight and warm weather and everything until 7:30.
It's so nice.
Yeah, I was driving today running errands thinking about it because I pulled into somewhere around 12:30, and I was like, we still have 7 hours of daylight.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just been bringing me a lot of joy because I feel like I'm more productive. I feel like my spirits are higher because the day actually feels like something can happen. Whether it's cleaning or relaxing, either end of the spectrum, something can happen.
I wonder there has to be some kind of science behind that, right? Because I feel like in general, people would agree with us that you feel more productive when it's sunny out.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I think of all the
Because we're
things
used to
I've done
sleeping
today.
at night. Is that why?
Maybe.
Just an animalistic. What is that called? When it's ingrained in us.
Oh, animalistic tendencies.
Yeah. Sleep at night.
Yeah.
Sleep when dark.
Yes.
Strive when daylight. Maybe. That was my caveman impression.
I think it's pretty good.
Thank you. Something that has been bringing me joy, also the sunshine, but we have like a lot of plants in our apartment now. Just like a lot, I don't know. I guess you only added a couple
2.
recently,
Yeah.
but it just feels like a lot more because
It
they're
does.
bigger, so they like take up more space. And every day when I come into the living room and I just like look at all the greenery,
Yeah.
it just makes me really happy.
That's a good point. I never thought about that.
Like every time when I walk out of my room, I always just like look at all of the plants. I'm like, wow.
We should count them. I bet we have close to 20.
No way.
You don't think so?
You can count them right now, but I
Okay.
don't know if that's really fun for them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12, and then I'm propagating 2 over there on the windowsill. So
we're about to have a baker's dozen.
Fingers dozen was 13.
Because you're propagating.
2 of them.
Oh, a baker's dozen plus 1.
That's what I thought.
I'll have to be the Duggars over here.
That's
With
not
plants.
enough. They have a lot of.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about
Yeah.
them.
Anyways, the sunshine and the plants have been making me really happy,
Yeah.
along with our friendship.
Heck yeah. I don't know if we've mentioned it, but we've started doing something, and we just now finished our 3rd week of it.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Okay.
I know we talked about it before we started.
Doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our weekly Wednesday outings.
Yeah. And I think that's been really fun too,
Mhm.
just to have. And I think this week it was super awesome because that was like our 70-degree day, and we sat outside and ate, and it was just beautiful.
And drank delicious Prosecco.
So good. And so I think that just like has been bringing me joy because sometimes the week can get hard,
Mm-hmm.
especially with what we do. It's so burnout can happen really fast. So to have that on Wednesdays just kind of makes the week clip along a little
Yeah. Yeah. It's really fun.
It
I don't
is.
know. I know this was kind of a short episode, but do you want to wrap it up? We
I
talked
think
about our
so.
money. We were kind of just going to focus on money. And I don't know if I have anything else to say about it. It's horrible and it's wonderful.
It is.
Because I know money doesn't buy happiness, but when you're like 22 and I just want to travel the world, but I can't because I don't have money. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I think like let us know your tips and tricks, and like if you do budgeting, let us know. I've tried that, and I like somewhat budget. I'm not strong like tracking all the numbers. That's just not something that I necessarily enjoy. But like if you have a system that works for you, let us know because I'll be the first one to sign up.
Yes. I think I might have talked about this before on the podcast, but maybe it was just to you and maybe it was just in my head. I don't know. I wish that I had a bank account that money got put into that I did not have access to and I could not see the number of.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, then I don't know when I finally get access to it.
Right.
Maybe like at the end of every year.
Yeah. I mean that's a good point.
I like
We should
having-
like open them up for each other or something.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be funny.
And then we're like, here's your gift, your hard-earned money. But then I'm like, why would I wait? I want that money now.
I know.
But then it feels like
That's
you saved
the
it. Ugh. Instant gratification. Money can't buy happiness, but it can buy me donuts.
And ice cream.
Ooh. Ice cream. Okay. Maybe that'll happen.
We went to a local ice cream shop.
Mm.
No ice this week?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's okay. Some weeks are made for that. And it's called Home Sweet Cone, and it's like literally right down the street from us. It's amazing.
It's so good. What's your favorite flavor? They make all their ice cream, right?
Yeah, homemade.
All of it.
And like any baked goods that are in it, so like if it's birthday cake, they literally make the birthday cake and chop it up, or they source it from local places.
That's so smart.
So smart.
Also, Lauren got me hooked on their waffle cones.
They're so good.
They're so good.
They just like upgrade your experience.
Truly.
So I think my favorite one that I've tried so far, this is a tough one. I think it's been oatmeal cream pie. It was so good and like a little cream cheesy, and it didn't have like a ton of full oats in it, which sometimes it gets a little too like full oats. So if you know,
It gets a little too full oaty.
You know, full oaty.
Full oaty.
You hate that a lot.
Yeah, I didn't
Anyways.
even know it was gonna sound like that.
That I think is the favorite one I've tried, but like I've never gotten one I've been disappointed with.
Yeah, same. My favorite, you already know, raspberry chip. It's okay, guys. It's a raspberry ice cream with chocolate chips in it. Like, it's so good, and it's like tart enough, and it's like the chocolate is like dark enough.
Yeah.
It's not just like pure milk chocolate. So good. If you live in the Des Moines area, go to Home Sweet Cone yesterday.
Now,
Every day.
all days. If I could, I would.
Yes. Do you want to maybe go there today?
Okay. We high fived.
Did we have it last night? Or was it 2 nights ago?
Maybe we shouldn't go tonight. We
Yeah.
should go tonight.
We'll let you guys know.
We'll update you. Maybe we'll post on Instagram.
Yeah, true. Okay, we're rambling about literally nonsense at this point.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in, like always. We have a TikTok now,
Yeah.
at No Ordinary Days Podcast, just like the Facebook and the Instagram. If you listen on Spotify or Apple Music, or actually anything, there's probably like a rating system, but please give us 5 stars if you feel so inclined.
Yeah. Also, something that I think we should do a quick celebration for. We have our first Patreon to our episodes. So if you are interested in becoming a Patreon, which is just getting subscriptions, hopefully we can do like bonus content eventually once we get to that point. But you will subscribe, and it's just a way to like support what we do and help us reach all of our goals and buy microphones or get photo
I think
shoots
that's
together.
what we're gonna do first. Is either a photo shoot to show our faces to the
Yeah.
world, or get microphones so you can hear us even better.
Oh. Thank you. So yay for that.
Yay! If you want to make your own podcast, what should they do?
They should join Anchor.
Thank you guys so much for listening and for watching. We will see you guys next time.